What's up, everybody? It's Roger and Victoria here from the DisKingdom podcast, and in this episode, we are going to be talking about Pandora, the world of Avatar, which had its press kind of previews over the weekend. So we've got to see a number of sort of content of what is coming to this park. Gonna be honest, looks amazing. I can't wait to actually when I next go to Disney World, see this in person because this looks epic. I was blown away with what I've seen so far. So what have you seen? What are you excited about with this?
Oh my goodness. Well, I have a few cast member friends who got to indulge in Satuli Canteen. We did coverage on that a little while ago when they were first getting it all ready. They said the food is amazing. They said the food was amazing. The vegetarian options are very delicious. Dessert's wonderful. The interior itself is fabulous. So I'm definitely looking forward to the food.
So this canteen, I'm just looking here, has 330 seats with additional 190 seats outside. It is a Pugu Pugu kiosk or Pogu Pogu, which is a specialty beverage, which is a party one with looks like a load of little bubbles and stuff in it, which look rather weird. It's like a signature dish, which is a limeade with Granny Smith apple and dessert pear topped with bursting mango boba balls. There's also a screaming banshee margarita and an Avatar private label ale. They've got some different things like desserts include a blueberry cheesecake with passion fruit curl or a chocolate cake with a crunchy cooking layer. It's kind of funny. I was only talking to my dad this morning, and we were talking about food at the park, and as far as he was concerned, it's still all just American burgers and fries. And I said, not so much anymore. And looking at the pictures and information, this is not your standard theme park fare.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen them try this with Skipper Canteen where they're trying out different, exotic foods, but we saw in the future, that it didn't really appeal to guests, so they kind of dialed it down. But I don't think they're going to back down with this as far as Pandora because it's such an immersive area. I don't think it's going to work with this one.
The only thing is these little bauble balls that they sort of put on all the food, which kind of makes it look a little bit more alien-like. But no, I mean, that was obviously the first thing. But we obviously saw... We've got some video footage, and you'll see in the video, if you're watching, some footage of the actual Navi River cruise, which they're going through, and it looks amazing.
Oh my gosh, I was literally in awe when I saw especially the audio animatronics. They are... I saw the one of the Avatar in the little, I guess you could say container or tube or whatever. But what I was that's awesome. Great CGI. And my friend who shared the video, that's not CGI. I'm like, a projection?
It's like twitching and moving and I'm just like, that looks awesome. I mean, when you're actually looking at it going, okay, I could see how they've maybe made it. But it did look... the fact that so many people thought it was a CGI or a projection shows how good that one looks.
Yeah, they did, and the Shaman as well. The Shaman is by far the best audio animatronic I've seen Disney come out with. And I know their most advanced one was Hopper from It's Tough to Be a Bug. But that one, they've done an amazing job.
Yeah, I mean, even that's 20 years plus now. So, I mean, obviously, it does look great. The whole river cruise looks great. And I love the fact as well, and this is one of the things I've been talking about with some friends recently, one of the great things about Disney parks is they have these kind of river cruises and these little attractions that the whole family can enjoy, and it's not all just roller coasters and stuff. And this is where Disney really has, and that just looks beautiful with all the neon. And I obviously at the minute we haven't really seen it so far, but obviously we will start seeing it a bit. But when this park opens up in the evenings, I think it's going to look stunning.
Oh yeah, I've seen one or two pictures from the media day that they did yesterday, which I was surprised they didn't show as many, but I feel like pictures wouldn't do it justice either way. I heard it's gorgeous.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's definitely been one of those things for Animal Kingdom. It's changing the whole process of the whole thing of them bringing in the night show and the night light and the tree. Pandora's going to open this up for the evening, and it's going to turn it into a great thing. I really enjoyed the Avatar movie. I'm looking forward to the sequels. So I'm maybe looking at this and kind of going, okay, this is a franchise that might feel to a lot of people like one from 10 years ago. I'm now looking at, no, they've actually managed to jump the gun, and they've got ahead of it all.
Yeah, I agree. When I first saw the film a few years ago, I loved it, but obviously it did die down. But I feel like by doing Pandora, and with the sequels coming out, they will revitalize that series because
Mm.
they can, like Star Wars, they can expand the universe there.
Yeah, I mean, also there's been a lot of talk about the other attraction, which is it's a flight of passage where you kind of walk in and you sit like on like a bike kind of situation, and they kind of strap you in. Not really seen any footage of it because it's like 3D and it's moving around. All I do know is everyone that I saw on Twitter was basically saying how awesome the ride is, and it's one of the best rides in the park, which that from a new attraction, that is what people want to hear.
Exactly. I've actually seen a review that said if you like soaring but you want a little bit more thrill,
Yeah,
this is the ride for you, which
yeah.
is great for me because I'm not that big of a fan of soaring just because I want more thrill with it. So that means it's going to be perfect for me.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm really excited about this whole thing. I think that the area with all the cliffs and the things, it just looks stunning. I think it actually is a perfect location in the Animal Kingdom. I think it actually fits rather nicely.
I do too. I feel like anything that Joe Rody touches basically turns to gold, and he did an amazing job with this. Like this Animal Kingdom is his baby, so
Yeah.
you know what he's gonna do is gonna be best for the park.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the way they've kind of done all the interactions with all the different, the way, you touch things and they glow and they make noise, and there is a lot of excitement there. And I think when people see it, I think there's that kind of thing. I think Avatar as a franchise is not at its highest at this precise minute. So they've kind of got this, but a lot of people have been saying how when this thing opens, it will be a big pull. Got friends going to Walt Disney World next year, and they've been saying, one of the big things that they've said, that Pandora, or as everyone is just calling it Avatar Land now. It's just that's kind of its unofficial name. It just looks great. The only thing I did notice from what I saw on the press releases and press information was the merchandise. There was like a pod which you could kind of have an action figure made of you as an avatar. But a lot of the merchandise I did think looked a little bit cheap.
Yeah, I did the article on the merchandise. I mean, I could see there was a lot of work put into it, but it does seem a little bit cheap. Like, I mean, the plushes are very cute, the little Banshee
Mm,
plushies, little baby Avatar ones. The passport kit seems a little
yeah.
pricey for me, but it's a good way to try to get people more involved into
Mm.
the immersion of the park.
One of the really cool things I did see was like this puppet, and they kind of got a control and it moves. And I did think that looked really cool, and I did think that was great. There were some great models behind the desk, which I thought looked stunning. And I must admit, the one with the big banshee with him on top, I thought looked amazing. I mean, you're definitely talking high end models at that point. But there also seemed to be a lot of like toys, which like bow and arrows in just what I would almost call like Poundland like packaging. It just didn't look and there was some other clothing and stuff, and it was like, how you're gonna, if you get caught up in that area and you're thinking about how amazing it is, when you pull it away from there, how some of the clothes and the jewelry, and there's a little jewelry makeup area, how is that going to work long term away from the park?
Yeah, that's also I can see that as well. I mean, again, it was a little hit and miss with the merchandise. Like, I did like the Banshee kite. I did like that, but it's like I feel like it's only cool when you see it, and when you take it home, it's like,
Yeah.
oh well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, some of the merchandise looked a little bit weak. Some of it did look good. Whether or not it's almost that thing of almost trying too hard to make too much merchandise, um, and obviously they will probably wean out the ones that are doing very well and which one isn't. There was like hats and scarves and little socks, and you could even have a little tail as well. I thought that was kind of cool. That you can just put on like an avatar tail. And some ears. Some things like that I thought were really cool. There was a few bits and pieces I was looking at it going, that's probably very expensive stuff for what it actually is.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I know for sure I would probably buy is the mugs because I'm a big mug collector, and honestly, I have to see, but I would probably get a model of me as an avatar because I mean, $75 for that is the cheapest I've seen for any
Mm.
models they've done or put out as far as I've seen.
Yeah. It was kind of one of those things I saw it, and I actually think it was a really cool idea because it actually fits what the actual movie's about, creating, and they're sort of linked up with you. And I did actually think that was a cool little item. And I did, while the figures themselves look a little bit, if you just take it as an action figure, it doesn't look good. Obviously, nowadays action figures have got a lot better and stuff, but the personalization stuff, I did think that was a really cool idea, and I can't wait to see what that looks like when we start seeing that rolling out. But I did like that, and it makes sense with what the movie does.
Yeah, I agree as well. I mean, they've just been working on this for so long, so it's just really good to finally see the end product of what they've been doing.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, I would not be surprised if in a year's time, quite a bit of this merchandise ends up down at the character warehouse, and maybe start streamlining the merchandise a bit, because while having one big store full of all this stuff is good, they might be like, maybe we've got, working out what isn't and what isn't working. Some things will work very well. I mean, like I said, I love the clip-on tail. I thought was fantastic, and I must admit, I'd be very tempted to pick up some Avatar socks. I thought they were rather neat as well. But like I said, a big selection. I can't wait to see more of it. I think once we start seeing guests kind of getting in there, wouldn't be at all surprised if we start going into soft launch over the next week or two.
Yeah, I agree as well. I know they're going to be doing cast member previews the week, actually next week. Yeah, they're going to start on the 9th and the 10th, and then annual pass holders the following week, I believe. So after annual pass holders, they're probably going to soft open it, more than likely.
Yeah, I mean, I think in general, getting it there. I mean, as someone that missed out last time on the Snow White's railroad by like a week, I could just, it's that thing of, if you're going there like in the beginning of May and you're seeing it and you're hearing people going on these rides, it must be so frustrating, because you're going, it's there and it's running. I know I had it with Ratatouille one time. We were about 3-4 weeks away, and it's that thing of it. It's so frustrating when you can see it through the barriers and it's working, and you can't get
right. Although I did have a friend, he the one that went to the canteen, he said they have been having issues with Flight of Passage. So I think this will be a good time for them to work on that, because I have a feeling that these rides may do a Frozen Ever After and kind of like have issues in their first few months. So
yeah,
I might wait to go. Not entirely sure yet, but we'll see.
Yeah, so obviously once if you're in the park, you're gonna be like, yeah, I'll have a peek. But yeah, it looks great. I can't wait to see these things, and I must admit, it's definitely one thing of, on my next trip, I've got it very much high on that's something I want to check out. And obviously you're just gonna be very lucky because you're gonna be living down there.
Yeah, so I'm excited.
On that, guys, thank you very much for watching. Be sure to let us know what you guys think of the new Avatar Land, if you've what you've seen of it, and also, are you excited about it? Remember, you can find us on all the different social media platforms and over on the website. You can also like, follow, or subscribe on whichever platform you are watching or listening this on, including YouTube, VidMe, and iTunes. So, Victoria, where can they find you?
They can find me on Twitter at HeCallsMePP, and Instagram, He Calls Me Pineapple Princess.
Okay, on that note, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you guys soon. Laters.
See ya.